Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is not an ordinary mantram. It is a Vishnu Krishna mantram that, if chanted with deep devotion, it can liberate your soul. This mantram has 12 syllables. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And the Bhāgavata Purāṇa has 12 cantos or skandhas, it's called. So each syllable of this mantram corresponds to each skandha or canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This mantram is not to be taken lightly. It is so powerful when chanted with devotion. And to call the Bhāgavata Purāṇa just a book is an understatement. The Bhāgavata Purāṇa is Bhagavan himself. In this Kali Yuga, he has chosen to live inside this book. The tradition does not say, read this book and you will know about God. It says, hear the Bhagavata Purāṇa and God will be present. That is why the Bhagavata Purāṇa declares that those who hear it with sincerity do not merely gain the knowledge, they are carried toward liberation. Okay, so now coming back to our episode. So the last episode, we ended with talking about how Vasudeva calmly talks to Kaṁsa and promises to him that he will bring every child born to Devakī so Kaṁsa can kill the child. But after this promise was given, Kaṁsa agrees to spare Devaki's life, and he decides to imprison Devaki and Vasudeva out of deep fear for his life. Time passes, and then the first child is born to Devaki and Vasudeva. It is a very difficult moment for Devaki, as you can imagine, to part with her first newborn child, but being true to his nature, Vasudeva keeps his word to Kaṁsa. He takes the newborn child and walks to Kaṁsa with a heavy heart. Kaṁsa looks at the infant and says, take him back. I fear only the 8th child. At first, this sounds merciful, almost reasonable. Vasudeva accepts the child back, but he does not feel fully relieved in the back of his mind because fear that has only paused has not ended fully. Then Narada Muni comes to visit Kaṁsa. Now, Narada does not arrive as an instigator. He does not command violence. He does not instruct Kaṁsa to kill. Narada Muni reveals only the absolute truth to Kaṁsa. He says that Vishnu is destined to be Kaṁsa's end, and those connected to Vishnu are already present in the Yadu dynasty. Nothing more, nothing less. See how those two sentences are not related? Narada then quietly leaves after revealing this truth. The purpose of his visit was fulfilled. And now Kaṁsa's fear has completely changed form. Before this, his fear had a number, an 8th child at some future point. But after Narada Muni's visit, his fear becomes total. He becomes paranoid with these questions in his mind. What if destiny does not wait? What if the prophecy was trying to mislead me? What if Vishnu is already here? What if any child could be the end of me? The Bhagavatam shows us something quietly devastating. Truth does not purify a disturbed mind, it exposes it. A steady mind receives truth as clarity. An unsteady mind receives the same truth as terror. This is something we need to be mindful of in our own lives as well. When we let fear take over our minds, our actions cannot be rational. Kaṁsa, now in a fit of rage, chains Devaki and Vasudeva inside their prison cells. And each time a child is born to them, he kills the child right in front of their eyes. What is most striking here is not only what happens to Vasudeva and Devaki, but how they respond to this cruelty. They do not fight fate. They do not curse destiny. They do not demand to know why. The Bhagavatam shows them acting with quiet steadiness, trusting that even what they cannot understand is not without purpose. They do not see the full design. They simply accept their circumstances with utmost devotion to God. They are certain of only one thing, that a greater force is at work even when it is hidden. So ask yourself, when things don't make sense in your life, do you immediately try to control or resist them? Or can you sit with the idea that there may be a bigger plan unfolding that you don't fully understand yet? This will be a paradigm shift in how you think. The Bhāgavata Purāṇa is teaching us that faith is not the absence of pain. It is the refusal to conclude that pain is meaningless. Think deeply about this. And in the next episode, we will slow down even further to understand why Narada Muni speaks the truth as he does, why sages sometimes accelerate destiny rather than soften it, and what the Bhāgavata Purāṇa is really teaching about compassion, responsibility, and divine timing. Only then does the face of God begin to reveal itself. See you in the next episode. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.